Link. We're live.
We're live.
From Lincoln, Nebraska is Husker, Willie, Basch in the Brain, episode 342. Willie had some travel foes.
Well, yeah, all kinds of things. Flights delayed, no sleep, and then, well, just now I tried to re-up my room, like stay an extra night, and it was like they had to get the Pentagon involved. I don't know. They couldn't get up the desk, go back in and do it online. I'm like, what? And then I don't know. She, solved the quantum physics theory and got it done, but after about a half hour.
Yeah, we were supposed to do a show yesterday. You said traveling was the worst. So can we move to Friday? I said, sure. And then I started just spam texting you at like 6 a.m. and did not get a text for quite some time. But you said you were going to your special Husker Willie suite, and I believe you are in the Nebraska locker room.
I'm in the locker room. I was going to do it from the room, but from the wrestling room, but they have like a little lobby in front of the wrestling room. They got music playing. I don't know how to turn it down. So
shout out Camden McDaniel, because he just came in and got everything set because we were about to do the show with Coldplay blaring for an hour or two.
Coldplay. They're listening to Coldplay. I don't know how I feel about that.
All right, William, where do you want to start?
Well, why don't we start with let's start with the Iowa Hawkeyes making their debut.
It's so funny.
It's Bellarmine, right? Bellarmine's making strides, good up and coming program, but on this particular night, in this particular year, against the Iowa Hawkeyes, not a lot of drama, right? Not a lot of surprising results.
No, and it is funny because like opposing fans are so comical. Like, for example, Penn State and Iowa fans sometimes I feel like would be best of friends because as soon as Penn State wrestles Buffalo, Iowa fans are up in a tizzy about Penn State scheduling a weak duel. And then Iowa schedules Bellarmine, and Penn State or Oklahoma State fans are up in a tizzy that it's like everybody's doing the same thing. And by the way, I'll go on record saying I think it's great when small schools like Bellarmine, who just went D1, a year ago, like gets the opportunity to wrestle and cover Hawkeye. So I think it's great for these smaller schools to get these opportunities to go and wrestle these top programs.
And Iowa went there last year. That's good for Bellarmine.
Yeah, so there wasn't a heck of a lot, like you said, of excitement from the duel. We did see some Hawkeye debuts. Jordan Williams looked awesome. He was up 10-1, got the pin, and he was dancing and celebrating, got a team point deducted, which is the dumbest thing ever. Stop deducting team points.
A lot of people had asked when the big board came out, if I was sandbagging Nasir and Jordan, having both blood round, and why am I not more optimistic on them?
You mean crystal ball?
What did I say?
Big board.
Yeah, crystal ball. And I'm just a little cautious. Nasir up in weight, Jordan Williams up in weight, but I always say when it could go one of two ways when people go up in weight. Either they're not as good as. Either they're not as good, or they're a little bit undersized, or, they're dealing with a whole new cohort of people.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're going to do, so play a little cautious. Or, and I think it might be a thing in Jordan Williams' case, or he's on full feed. He has full motor. He has an uptick in production. And that very well could be the case with Jordan Williams.
Yeah, and Dean Peterson looked good. He had an quick escape, got a takedown. You had kind of, when the duel started, they started at 97, and Dean, Keeter, and Peterson all had close, like, one takedown matches. Actually, Keeter won by 2 takedowns, I think. But you had, and Dean won 3-0. Dean Peterson won 5-1. So you had a couple of slower matches. But you did have, Drake come out, put up 19 and get attacked. Kelly Endo put up 22, get attacked. Patrick Kennedy, 19 and attack. Ferrari puts up 21 and gets attacked. So you did kind of have a nice balance of like some Hawkeye debuts. And I think already, like, in Dean, you know, you've said it from Jump Street. We did our preview show, and you don't really know what you're going to get yet. And here he makes his D1 debut in Carver Hawkeye. Not an easy place to debut, either for the Hawkeyes or against them. There's a lot of nerves.
Yeah.
And already people, like, I couldn't believe the comments on Indeed.
And he
It's
has
like,
to wrestle first.
yeah, it's like the first match of the year in Carver Hawkeye. Like, I get it if they were way too harsh. Yeah. I felt like they were way too harsh. Like, give him a little breathing room. Let him get into the thick of things. Like, did he look great last night? Absolutely not. Is that worthy of an overreaction, good or bad? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And you kind of said that last week when we did the preview show. Like, I said you're not bullish on him. You're like, well, we don't know what he can do yet in D1. So,
Yeah, it's a whole new group of competitors he's going against. Same thing, you know, not just when you rise from D3 to D1, but like Nasir, right? We know he's really good at 133. He can beat anybody.
yeah.
At 131, this is a group he hasn't faced before, so.
Yeah, and we talked about it again. Like, still, if you haven't watched our college season preview show, go watch it. But, like, Dean has some strong competitors coming up. Evan Bates, Max Stout, Rocky Elam. You know, if Iowa advances at the national duels, maybe Cody Merrill for Oklahoma State. Like, you're going to get even more good matchups. So, given this first month of, like, yeah. He's not going to...
I mean, beyond obviously national duels being an awesome event, it also gives us great matchups individual wise and early in the year, right? A lot of times we have to wait throughout a season. A lot of times we have to wait throughout a season to get answers on guys.
We're getting joined for audio listeners. We're getting joined by Brian Snyder. Is there somebody else the other side? Are they getting squeezed out?
We got Vince Jones. We got the Winslow Township boys. We got Vince Jones and Jordan Burroughs.
Well, there you go. How can you go wrong with that crew?
So can I just say that I had to follow Basch on Twitter today to find out where Willie was?
Yeah, you're not the only person.
Well, Ridge is here. Ridge saw me in all my glory last night.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
What's up, Ridge? How are you?
What's good? How are
Ridge
you?
basically had to babysit me for a little while.
Where were you last night?
A little bit.
Well, I went to I didn't sleep the night before. I didn't sleep. And so I went
You told me.
I went to go have a beer, and so I thought I'd have a beer or two and then sit down and then go to sleep. And one beer turned into like an 8-hour festival.
So if you're wondering why there was no show on Thursday, you just got the answer.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Is Ridge
around the Haymarket?
Yeah.
is Ridge to blame? Is that why he's not wrestling with the Pharaoh tomorrow? Because he had to be with
they're
you?
putting my banner tonight. Had to be here.
Oh, you can't miss that. That's pretty sweet. That's awesome.
I'll wrestle with Bill Farrell for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
We can miss one.
Yeah, no, you can't miss banner night. That's what.
It's
That's why Willie's there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but the Nebraska's wrestling the Army tonight. But it's also like they're, I don't know if you call it homecoming, but they're hanging banners and they're.
Well, Terrence Crawford's there. Burroughs is there. I've seen it. Like, they got a lot going on.
Be sick. Gotta be sick.
Isn't the governor here?
And yeah, Governor Pillin will be here too.
I mean, that's the real deal. You what?
Larry the Cable Guy?
Get her done. Come on. Come on.
We're gonna have like a what's the like middle of the duel? We're gonna have a quick comedy special. Like, all right, for the halftime intermission, we got Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, that's Nebraska right there. Come on. But yeah, I'm about to go work out with JB, so y'all have a good show.
All
right. Good seeing you, man. All right. That was the Nebraska game crashing the party. I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about national duels. You know, usually at the start of the year, you have questions about guys.
Yeah.
And it might take I mean, sometimes it takes 2 months to find out the answers to some of that because, okay, Iowa wrestles Bellarmine, but then they might not. They might wrestle a good duel, and Dean doesn't have a good 97 litmus test. But with national duels, one of the beauties about everybody knows the national duels is great, but it's early and it gives us all this data. We find out answers early and often.
Yeah. No, National Duels are going to be awesome next week. We'll preview National Duels in detail next week. Willie does have an article out, like all the best first-round matches that were basically guaranteed to see if the guys go. And I think some second-round matches too. So that's on Rockfin. We'll dive into that next week. National Duels is going to be awesome. I was disappointed. Like, there was a lot of chatter in the offseason about, obviously, Penn State not going. Penn State. It didn't really dawn on me too much until I was kind of looking through some stuff last night. It is a real shame that Iowa State's not there.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things that was, like, hard to know in March that they'd be in the top 5 to start the season. But
that's one of the wrinkles about the selection is, and 99% of 99.9. That's why they call me the brain. 99.9% of wrestling problems, I think I have a solution for. But this one, the selection for national duels, it cuts both ways because you want to reward teams based on performance, right? Who gets in? Well, who deserves to be in? Well, why ain't I in? And we should be in. So you wanna reward teams based on performance, but the team is total different composition the next year, right? Yeah. Iowa State didn't do well at NCAAs, but they had half their team injured. So,
and they reloaded too. Like, it's kind of you got guys like Younger Bastida back in the lineup. You also got All-American transfers. You got guys like Rocky Elam and Steve O'Poulin, and it is one of those things that it's going to be interesting to see next year how National Duels kind of approaches that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
Minto just walked in. Minto looks big, even for 74. He's up a weight. I went to practice. It was not all drinking yesterday. I went to practice. Minto looks big.
Are we getting full Nebraska? Everybody in the lineup tonight?
Yes, except for Lamer, who's not eligible till the second semester. Lamer looks really good. AJ is he's pure cinema. AJ is a movie.
Did you bring the camera? Are we getting content from Willie while we're out here?
I don't really do that no more.
No, you don't want to get some content?
No, I don't need that. I don't know. I don't like sticking a camera in people's faces.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, so Army Nebraska is tonight at 7 Eastern.
That's a scrap.
You too small, bro.
That is on BTN Plus. Willie, you're on the call for that, right?
Yes, and they bugged me all week. Well, Snyder bugged me all week. Who are you going to have on with you? Who are you going to have on? Who's going to be your broadcast partner? And I was going back and forth. I don't know. I was going to get either Ridge or Liam Cronin. Liam Cronin's really good at that stuff. And then I called Fellers. And I'm like, bro, come over. Hop on the call with me. And he's like, all right, let me see what I can do, which means who knows. And then
shout out Nolan Fellers, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Nolan Fellers, committed to Nebraska. But as I was doing that, I checked my inbox, and they put me with a sophomore broadcast major.
Oh, that's going to be fun! I can't wait to tune in.
And they said who will do play-by-play, and I will do color. So I'm looking forward to illegal fist to the back.
This might get so good. Army Nebraska is must-watch cinema tonight. Absolute cinema. How How
Dude,
much grace do you give them if, like, you hear something? Is it just you look at them like you just said something, or is it going to be on air, we'll hear it?
I think I might go the other way with it. I think like if he says audacious stuff, I might lean into it and like encourage him to keep going. Just to make it as ridiculous as possible. I mean, that would be cinema.
And here you guys thought Oklahoma State Stanford was the duel of the night. I mean, I just found out that Nebraska Army has a wrinkle that you can't miss. So that's at 7 p.m. on Big Ten Plus. Another big duel tonight, Willie. Stanford, Oklahoma State. We talked about it earlier in the week. 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. And it's going to be good. So Nico Provo is out and Lorenzo Norman are out. Both are banged up. They didn't wrestle last weekend, so this isn't like I saw some boo birds already, preserving rankings and this and that. Like, no. They didn't go last week against guys ranked 40th and 80th on WrestleStat. They can't go tonight. They might not be back by next week. So it's kind of up in the air, but it's because they're banged up and injured. And that's the reason no Nico and no Norman. So it stinks, but way too early in the season to start crying about ducking and preserving rankings and all that.
Flo posted a graphic that said, like, here's 10 fire matchups, first round of national duels, and there were some boo birds in there saying, how many will we see? And, that's a question, like, what will materialize? That being said, I mean, they had guys in that graphic that are not wrestling. So,
yeah.
But okay, the point is some of those ain't ducking. Some of them are pre-existing conditions.
Correct. And that's what happened with Lorenzo and Provo. So those guys are out, but we are still going to get a lot of great matches, some great ranked matchups. We'll likely see Tyler Knox versus Richie Figs. That will be great because we've seen Richie Figs both win NCAAs and we've seen him not place. So which Richie Figs are we going to see this year? That's a great early season test against the top 10 guys. Sergio Vega or Carter Young are both listed at 41 in the probables. Sounds like Sergio Vega might be getting the nod, which will be exciting to see him make his Cowboy debut. A lot of freshmen in the lineup. I mean, I think there's only one guy who was in the lineup last year. So
yeah,
a lot
Oklahoma State, right? I mean, last year they had a good year. David being there and starting a new tenure. I mean, that brought a lot of energy. This year, I mean, on paper they're not as good. They graduated a lot, but they're like must watch because of all their new guys. They're all young, talented guys,
Yeah, 100%. So it'll be good if we see Sergio Vega where he's at 149. Very likely to see Aiden Valencia versus Casey Swiderski. Talked about this on Monday's show. Casey Swiderski just had an awesome close win at the All-Star Classic. Aiden Valencia just got upset by David Evans. So can Casey Swiderski make it 2 in a row, or can Aiden Valencia bounce back? That's a very intriguing matchup. Daniel Cardenas versus Teague Travis or Landon Robidoux. Don't know which one we're going to see, but that'll be a good match. D. Lockett making his Cowboy debut against Hunter Garvin. You're going to make your Cowboy debut. We just talked about Dean making his debut at Carver Hawkeye. Now you're going to have D. Lockett making his Oklahoma State debut at home in front of a popping crowd against the top 5 guy in Hunter Garvin. So,
yep.
Another awesome one there. Facundo, it's not. What?
Facundo would probably get Colin Guffey. Now we said Lorenzo Norman's out. Colin Guffey is a guy that I think has a lot of potential. He didn't have a great year last year, but like coming up through California, he was like, I don't know, a 120, then a 140, then a one. He kept getting bigger, 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 and he maintained very good competitiveness the whole way through. He's a good prospect. He's a redshirt freshman, and so it's not the Lorenzo Norman, but it's still an interesting match.
And I think no matter what happens, I think Facundo, there's going to be an eye on him, and like I think there's going to be some added critique to him, and I think there's going to be an overreaction regardless. If he doesn't look that great, I think there's going to be an overreaction. If he looks awesome, I think there's going to be an overreaction. I think it's one of those things where when Facundo was in the lineup at Penn State, he looked great, honestly, I think earlier in the year, and then he kind of fizzled out later in the season. So it'll be interesting. It'll be great to see Facundo back. Obviously, Zach Ryder, I'm sure he's going to put on a show. Cody Merrill looks like he's in the lineup at...
It was like Zach Ryder week, boy. Everybody was talking about Zach Ryder.
Yeah, he was on the Bader show. He was the Big 12 Wrestler of the Week, I believe. So then you got Cody Merrill and Connor Doucette wrestling, making their debuts. So it'll be a fun duel.
Hey, we did get a nugget. Well, I mean, I put it out, but there started being some chatter, and so I looked into it. But it sounds like Nagao is going to be the guy at 41. Now, I'm not saying it's a lock. I'm not saying next topic he's the guy, but it sounds like that's the direction it's being pointed.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think that's part of the plan. And, it's like Nagao, I don't want to say he's forgotten about, but when you have all these different lineup battles and, I think you've basically got the rest of those guys in that vicinity at Penn State all listed at 33. Blaze, Ono, Braden Davis, Braden Davis listed up at 41, I think. But, you got all these guys.
Their roster was all jacked up.
Yeah, I don't put too much stock in what their public roster says, but you got a lot of these lineup questions with Blaze and Ono and Davis, and Nagao's not mentioned as much in that lineup discussion. But, yeah, him going 41 and then seeing what happens at 33.
Really weird career for Nagao because, he came in, I think I had him relatively high on the big board. I mean, certainly top 75. I'll look it up quick. But, he goes to Minnesota. His first part of the year was sort of nondescript. It wasn't anything crazy. But then he got on a heater at NCAAs. And so now he's a dude. And he goes to Penn State, and he just sort of wasn't the same. Yeah. I had 77. But then there were rumors, indications that he was pretty banged up. He was pretty banged up that year. So, you don't know. His sample size of being a dude was really small.
Yeah.
So maybe he just got hot that weekend. Maybe he is that guy and he hasn't been healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, people were definitely putting a lot of stock into that roster. There were some questions about Ono being listed as a junior, and I don't think, his eligibility is as black and white as people want the answers. Well, he's listed as a junior. Does that mean he has 2 years left?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, not a whole lot of stock in what the rosters say, but you want to should I go off on a sort of a politically correct thing?
Why not? Since when do you not?
I was looking at Northwestern's roster the other day, and it has SO for a sophomore, and it has SR for a senior, and it has JR for junior, and it has FY for freshman. And I asked somebody, I said, what? And it had FY for all the freshmen. And I'm like, what? I asked somebody, I'm like, you think maybe Northwestern doesn't know how to spell? What's going on there? And they said, no, freshman is politically incorrect. It stands for first year.
I've never heard of that.
First year. Freshman's politically incorrect. I
Oh,
mean,
I know why.
F off.
No, I think I heard about this. You want to know why they're saying what I heard of why they're doing that is because freshmen's not inclusive of women.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that. That's
Exactly.
absurd.
But like, if Billy DeCraker is a freshman at Northwestern, why can't he go by freshman? He is a man.
Yeah. No, it's
use
wild. I remember hearing about that.
I mean, make it FW for fresh woman for the girls.
Fresh woman. Yeah.
Hey, but you're not far from the Orange Men changed their name.
Don't get me started.
Syracuse Orangemen are now the Orange.
Yeah.
Stop. All right, where else do we go, bud?
All right. So you want to do a rundown of what else is coming up this weekend?
Yeah, let's run it down.
Let me pull it up. You got it?
Let's run it down. Tonight, Army at Nebraska. I'll be on the call. Big Ten Plus. Bucknell at Virginia Tech. Should have some good matches in it. VMI wrestlers Emory. Stanford Okie State at 8. That's a great one. Looks like Edwin Sierra from Poway might get the nod with Provo out. That's mostly it for tonight. Saturday, tomorrow, Campbell at George Mason Citadel. There's a bunch of duels at George Mason. Campbell, Citadel. Michigan State Open tomorrow. Arizona State, Central Michigan, Davis and Edinburgh, Indiana, Kent State, Michigan State, Northern Illinois, Northwestern. We should get some good stuff there. Bloomsburg, Citadel, Cal Baptist, Iowa State Invitational, Cal Baptist, Iowa State, SIUE, Utah Valley, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, they just picked up a bunch of dudes.
Wisconsin picked up a bunch of dudes, and we kind of left them off last week, not intentionally. I actually had it as a note that they've gotten a lot of crap. Last year they looked terrible. They started this year out with a nice win over North Dakota State, pounced them 36-3, and then that same night they got the Cassiopes committed, and somebody else too, I forgot.
They got the Cassiopes. They got a heavyweight that plays at Super 32 named Kel Leisgang, who's about 7'6". He's so tall. They got Brody Sendell, another big border, 2027. Yeah, they picked up a lot of dudes.
Yep.
App State at Navy. There's a bunch of journeyman stuff going on this weekend in Bethlehem. Duels Saturday and then Sunday, like a pool tournament format. Appalachian State, Navy, Duke, Hofstra, LIU, UVA, West Virginia, Lehigh, Lockhaven. Lehigh, Virginia should be a good one. Indiana, Lockhaven should be a good one. Indiana, and I think Indiana's doing some good things too. James Green.
Navy Rutgers could be
Yeah,
Pinto and Wask.
Yeah, that's always a good one. Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Ryder, Illinois should be. Ryder, I always toot their horn. I mean, they do good stuff, and they got a couple transfers in this year as well. So they should be pretty solid. So kind of sneaky good matchups there. Ryder, Illinois tomorrow at 7. Sunday, all those teams are wrestling in a pool tournament format at Journeyman Collegiate Classic. Tiger Style is Sunday with Little Rock, Missouri, Oklahoma, Purdue, SDSU, and Missouri, obviously. Minnesota, North Dakota State, South Dakota State at Bison Open. There's a lot of the red shirts and non-starters from Nebraska are going up to that. Northern Colorado at North Carolina. Ohio State duels Chattanooga at 1. VMI, Michigan, and Air Force has CSU Pueblo. And that is the weekend on tap.
You also got tomorrow, Saturday, Bill Farrell Freestyle. 10 a.m. Eastern start time, 4 p.m. I believe is the medal rounds, and it is free streaming on USA Wrestling's YouTube channel all day long. So there will be 3 different individual.
Oh, really?
Yep, 3 individual mat streams, live, free on USA Wrestling's YouTube all day. Should be a lot of fun. Ono's going to be there. You're going to have Tyler Kasich there for Penn State fans who are, it's the one school I think that, or one of the few that will not be competing by yet this weekend. So Ono and Kasich will be there. Melvin Miller making his senior level debut. Could potentially, I don't know, I guess we'd see it. Caleb Henson versus Melvin Miller. That'd be an exciting one. Hawkeye versus future Hawkeye, or graduate Hawkeye versus future Hawkeye. So that should be good. Bill Farrell tomorrow.
No seeds or anything come out for that?
I didn't see him, no. I looked today. Let me see again. No, I don't think so. Brackets will probably come out tomorrow morning for that, but I don't believe we have anything else yet. So that is tomorrow. Willie, this week you released not 1, but 2 big board updates. Do you want to talk about some of the bigger updates, maybe the top 10, top 15 in them?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to 2026. The senior big board. Top 9 or so stayed the same. I think some of the big risers, Mason Jacob, I really like what he done recently. He was 3rd in Fargo, 2nd at Super 32. I mean, he jumped pretty good. West Virginia recruit. So, and also Elite 8 duels. At Elite 8 duels, he went 7-1 and split matches with Munaredo. So he moved all the way up. I have him right on the same sort of tier with Munaredo now. Waylon Kressel moved up a bunch. He won Super 32, and we hadn't seen a whole lot of him. He was injured. He actually went to a tournament in Finland, I think. He went to a tournament overseas and a while ago, like a year ago, and got banged up, and that's why we haven't seen him too much. But he moved into the top. He moved into 20. Good pickup by Northern Iowa. Who else moved up a ton?
We got to add little green arrows and red arrows so we can quickly see movement.
Arrows, red arrows. Luke Ricketts, with his Fargo performance, he won Fargo and also took 4th at Super 32. He moved up a bunch. Supposedly a very, very big Trent Hidley fan, and so he chose NC State. But, there's not a whole lot of massive movement for the seniors. So much data, and we kind of know who they are, that there's, by the time they're seniors, not a whole lot changes.
Yeah. And some of these guys, too, like Bo Bassett, Antonio Mills, Sam Herring, they're also all going to be at Farrell tomorrow, too. See those guys even more.
Yeah. Now, there were a ton of changes in the junior big board, which I had a really good time with. And that's the only reason I really wanted to get a junior big board out, because to me it's more interesting than a senior big board. And you know what? Hey, a coach told me this week. I got a text from a coach. Last week, and he said, "Hey, when is the senior big board going to be updated?" And I said, "Next week. I'm getting it done next week." And he said, good because it's part of our NIL structure.
Really?
That's pretty crazy. So, I guess some schools use where you're at on the big board as part of their incentive package.
Interesting. Now, do you get a cut back for that?
Give me a cut.
What's the vig for that?
Right? But no, I was really looking forward to getting the juniors done because I knew there was going to be a ton of movement, and to me, it's much more interesting and fun. So I had all these flight delays Wednesday, and so I got here and I couldn't fall asleep, and I was like, all right, let me start messing around with the juniors. And so I start moving things around and compiling data and stuff, and then, dude, like 5 hours later, I'm like close to being done, and so then I'm like, I might as well finish it, and it's like two more hours later, and I got it done. Melvin Miller, number 1, that does not change. Seiden up to number 2. He was number 4. Bachman, I still have at 3. Now, some people might question that. Like, Bachman took a couple losses last year. He's moving up in weight a ton. How can you be so sure? I don't know. I think the guy's a winner. I think he won his whole life. And then, first of all, the guys that he did lose to were studs. One was Seiden. And, I think he was a little off in the middle of last year because I think what happened – I know what happened. He got in the middle of a season and hit a massive growth spurt. If you remember, he started at 120. Then a little bit later in the season moved up, and then, by May, he weighed 150 pounds, right? So you lose a couple matches in overtime or a couple 1-point matches. I'm not knocking you for that. I don't care. Gray Burnett moved up to 4. Now, sort of quietly, Gray Burnett split matches with Seiden at Clarion Open. And, he's another guy, Burnett, that, he was second at cadet trials, third at cadet trials, first at cadet trials. Guy lost 2 matches at cadet trials in 3 years, right? Yeah. Just a winner. I have Borg at 5. I was high on Borg for a long time, and I think people didn't really understand why because he didn't go to a whole heck of a lot of major events. But he sort of proved why last month at Super 32, taking second. Clinton Shepard also second at Super 32. Kid went Fargo champ, then Fargo runner-up to Bo Bassett, then Super 32 runner-up. Paul Kenny, number 7. And of note, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all uncommitted. Bachman, Burnett, Borg, Shepard, Kenny.
You think we'll get any of those soon?
I know we're getting them soon. We're going to get them next week, live on Matt Scouts.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Gavin Mangano up to number 8. Nick Singer, 9. And okay, so 9 and 10, Nick Singer and Michael Boyle, both committed to Ohio State, both Fargo finalists. Singer champ, Boyle runner-up to Ziola. 9 and 10, both massive movers. Boyle, I had Boyle 47. He went from 47 to 10. I forget what I had Singer, but it wasn't top 10. It was, he's up to number 9 in the country. And I think, I juggled this lineup. I juggled the order of the top 10, top 15 a great deal and put some thought into it. And Singer really could have been – I had Singer much higher, tinkered with in the 3-4 range, but I didn't because I played a little conservative because To me, I like I like him a little bit more than his results are. Um, I think that like right now he's fantastic. I think he's one of the
Yeah.
best prospects in the country. But also remember, I mean, he took eighth in Vegas, right? Everybody remembers he won Fargo and looked fantastic doing it, and then won Super 30 or won Who's Number One. But um, now if he stays that consistent, if he stays that high level, he will move up from 9 for sure. But it's relatively new. Not that he's good. He's always been good. I loved him as a freshman, but um, he had a loss, I think, to Mario Hutcherson, um, in Vegas, uh, and so there's pros and cons there. Like Nick Singer, I think he's probably better than 9,
Yeah.
but playing it a lot, and he did move up a lot. Ignacio Villasenor again, a little like Singer too. Ignacio has been all over the board for me. He has incredible highs, like taking a match from Anthony Knox at junior trials, right? But he also didn't place at Fargo. So, and generally speaking, 125, projecting 125s and even 133s, they cannibalize each other so much. Those guys do not go like undefeated, right? They all take losses. When you get into 175, 190 heavyweight, you see guys that they never lose. You see number one never lose. You get 13, 20, 26, those guys all take losses. And
Yep.
so and that portends to NCAA results. Look at where the multi champs come from. You get back-to-back champs at 65. You get multiple time champs at 74. You know where you don't get them? 25, 33, 41. The talent pool is just, I mean, frankly, it's better. There's more dudes. There's more guys.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Villasenor, Dean Anderson, who was 4th at Super 32, Tanner Hodgins, cadet world medalist, Hayden Schwab up to 14, Sonny Amato 15. Sonny Amato's tough because we just don't see him. We just don't see him a lot.
Yeah.
I like the talent. I like the potential, but I had him at 3 in the previous iteration, but I have to be super conservative. I had to drop him. I mean, I don't know where he fits. I don't know what he is right now, to be honest with you. He could be 3.
That's what happens when you don't wrestle a lot. Yeah.
Konopka, Jimmy Masney moved up a bunch. Masney winning Super 32. He's a horse. He's another guy I think might be a little bit better than his ranking, which is 17. But again, young. He lost. I think he was blood round at Fargo. Cassiopes. The Cassiopes moved up a lot for me. Rocco at 18 and Bruno at 25. They both moved into the 25. Lucas Bowe, Max Dayball. A lot of people will say, I think a lot of people will say, how the hell is Dayball only 20th? He's ranked number 2 in the country at 165 pounds. He only lost to Melvin Miller the last couple go-rounds, right? He lost to Melvin at Fargo. He lost to Melvin at Super 32 finals. He lost to Melvin at Who's Number One. How is he only number 20? His wins, it is true that he has not lost recently. Well, I'll say, hold on. They all remember. Everybody remembers the losses to Melvin. He literally just lost last week at P&L, albeit up a weight. And he did not place at cadet trials. So It's true that he mostly does not lose to anybody but Melvin Miller, mostly. But I don't know. I want to see higher quality wins out of him too. So 20. I mean, he's still 20th in the nation. So
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
yeah, pretty damn good.
Not so bad.
But yeah, that's a top 20 for me, and I think it's pretty damn good class, especially through I don't know, a dozen or so.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm stunned that you've gone this long without going through the chat. This might be a record. 45 minutes in. I'm stunned.
45. Yeah,
You haven't-
we didn't.
You haven't gone in
I've
the
checked
chat.
the chat. I've checked the chat, but there's not very many questions in the chat. There's a lot of
A lot of comments today.
comments, but
A lot of comments on the music choice. What is that music that's playing right now?
I don't know. I don't know any.
We're about to get
contemporary
booted off YouTube. This might be available exclusively on Rockfin.
I don't know any contemporary music. I listen to Alice in Chains.
All right, what else you got, Willie? So we got the weekend. We got Stanford, Oklahoma State tonight. We got Army, Nebraska tonight. We got Bill Farrell tomorrow. We got updates to the senior big board, junior big board. Those are both out on Willie's rockfin.com/Mad Scouts.
Yeah, Van D. Pop your head in here. My boy Jake Van D.
What's up, Van D?
There you are.
What's up, guys?
Pennsylvania boy.
Yeah on top.
He might have a good match tonight. Drawing a blank. What's his name?
Bergen.
Yeah. Yep. Could be a good match tonight.
Yep. There's a couple good matches in there for Army.
For Willie's Huskers.
Yeah. They're gonna be without Army's gonna be without one guy. Cooper Haas, who got pretty big, but he was a top 50 recruit. But another one tonight that should be good. I mean, quietly, yeah. 165 and even 157. So 157 is Joey Antonio, a true freshman, against Antrell Taylor. Now, Antrell Taylor is returning national champ, and he should win that match. But Joey Antonio was a top 50 recruit, Super 32 runner-up. Great tournament that year. That was 2 years ago. But that's an interesting matchup. And then at 165 is Gunnar Filipowicz, ranked 16th in the country, against LJ Raju, freshman.
That'll be a good one.
22nd. Yeah. So there's a couple good ones in there, and they have Army has a bunch of really solid heavyweights. Brady Colbert, Lucas Stoddard, and there's another one that I'm forgetting at the moment. But Brady Colbert is ranked 13th in the country, and AJ's ranked second. So that should be
that'll be a good match for AJ. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be good to see AJ's heavyweight debut.
Yeah, he looks big.
How much bigger does he look, just eyeball test, than down at 97? Like, you think this is where he's going to land at heavyweight, or is he still on his way up to heavyweight? You think he's there?
I mean, he's. I don't think he's full size heavyweight, but
I'm saying as far as where he's going to go as a heavyweight.
Yeah, I don't know. He trains a lot, So like, I don't think he's never going to have bad weight. You know what I mean? He's always going to be lean, as far as compared to most heavyweights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Should be fun night. Army, Nebraska, Stanford, Okie State.
Yep. All right. Any final words?
No. Who's the? It was last night. I didn't watch the game. I passed out. I heard it was one of the worst games of all time. I looked through the stats.
All time.
I think there wasn't 300 total yards.
One of the worst games of all time. The under 42 was the easiest lock of all time.
Did you take it?
Yeah, terrible, terrible game. Actually, I did not take under for the game. I took under 22.5 for the first half because I knew there was no way I was going to stay up for that whole thing. And it was 7-7 at the half. So, and there was only another 3 points in the whole second half. So,
Oh my God, what a trick!
all right, we'll
right,
be back like Monday-ish. Big week next week. Fun weekend of wrestling ahead. We'll be back. See ya.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.